It was a cold October night when Michael Turner inherited his grandfather's house. The property stood at the edge of a small town, hidden behind towering pine trees. Nobody had lived there for years. The windows were covered in dust, the paint was peeling from the walls, and the wooden porch creaked under the slightest pressure. The locals avoided the place. Whenever Michael mentioned the house, people changed the subject. At first, he thought they were simply being superstitious. He was wrong. The first night seemed normal. He unpacked a few boxes, ordered some food, and spent hours exploring the old rooms. Around midnight, he discovered a locked basement door beneath a carpet in the kitchen. The lock was rusted. Strangely, it looked newer than everything else in the house. Michael searched through drawers and eventually found a small brass key hidden inside a cabinet. The key fit perfectly. The basement door opened with a long, painful creak. A wave of cold air rushed upward. The smell was terrible, like wet earth mixed with something rotten. His flashlight revealed a narrow staircase descending into darkness. The basement itself was almost empty. Just concrete walls, a broken chair, and an old wooden table. Nothing else. Disappointed, Michael returned upstairs and went to bed. At exactly 3:07 a.m., he woke suddenly. Someone had whispered his name. He sat upright. The room was silent. Then he heard it again. A faint voice, coming from below, from the basement. "Michael." The voice sounded distant, weak, almost pleading. Michael grabbed his flashlight and slowly walked downstairs. The whisper stopped. The basement was empty. Nothing moved. Nothing breathed. Everything was exactly where he had left it. Feeling embarrassed, he returned to bed. The next morning, he convinced himself it had been a dream, until he checked the audio recorder on his phone. He had accidentally left it recording overnight. At 3:07 a.m., the recording captured a clear whisper, a whisper saying, "Michael, help me." His blood ran cold. That evening, he visited the town library. After hours of searching through old newspapers, he discovered something disturbing. 30 years earlier, a family had lived in the house. One night, their young daughter disappeared. Police searched for weeks. She was never found. The case remained unsolved. Her name was Emily. That night, Michael could not sleep. At 3:07 a.m., the whisper returned. Only this time it was louder. Much louder. "Michael, help me." The voice sounded like a little girl. Fear gripped his chest. Yet curiosity pulled him toward the basement once more. As he descended the stairs, his flashlight began flickering. The temperature dropped. His breath became visible. Then he noticed something strange. The basement wall behind the wooden table looked different. Newer. Almost as if it had been built later. His heart pounded. With trembling hands, he moved the table aside. Behind it was a section of concrete that didn't match the rest. Someone had sealed something behind the wall. The next morning, he borrowed a hammer. Hours later, after breaking through the concrete, he uncovered a small hidden room. The room was barely large enough for a child. Inside sat a tiny wooden chair, a faded teddy bear, and hundreds of scratches covering the walls. Scratches made by fingernails. Michael's stomach turned. Written among the scratches were 3 words repeated over and over. "Let me out." His hands began shaking. Then he found something else. A small diary. The diary belonged to Emily. Most pages were damaged, but the final entry remained readable. It said, "Dad locked me down here. He says the voice follows me. He says if I leave, it will find everyone. I can hear it behind the walls. It's getting closer." The entry ended there. Michael immediately contacted the police. They investigated the hidden room. However, no human remains were discovered. No evidence of what happened to Emily. Nothing. That should have been the end. But it wasn't. Because the whispers continued. Every night. Exactly at 3:07 a.m. The voice sounded less like a child now, and more like something pretending to be one. One night, Michael gathered enough courage to speak back. "What are you?" The whisper stopped. For several seconds, silence filled the basement. Then came an answer. A deep voice. Not a child's voice. Not even a human voice. Something ancient. Something wrong. And it said, "Finally." Every light in the house exploded. The basement door slammed shut. Darkness swallowed everything. Michael heard footsteps. Heavy footsteps. Moving toward him from inside the hidden room. 1 step. 2 steps. 3 steps. Closer. 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 His flashlight flickered to life for a single second. Long enough to reveal a figure standing in the doorway. It was impossibly tall. Its body was twisted. Its arms stretched almost to the floor. And where its face should have been, there was only darkness. The flashlight died. The footsteps stopped. Silence. Then a cold breath touched Michael's ear. A whisper came from inches away. "I've been waiting." The neighbors reported hearing a scream that night. Police arrived within minutes. The front door was open. Every room was empty. Michael Turner had vanished without a trace. The house was demolished 6 months later. Workers refused to explain why. But one laborer anonymously reported hearing whispers beneath the foundation, calling his name. The land remains empty today. Nothing grows there. No animals enter it. And according to local rumors, if you stand on that property at exactly 3:07 a.m., you can still hear a little girl asking for help. But the people who follow the voice into the darkness are never seen again.